Uh, let's start by invoking the presence of our Guru and by invoking the name of his most beloved Divine Mother, Ma Kali. The chant is very simple: Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om Kali, Om. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru, Om. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru, Om. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru, Om. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru, Om. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru, Om. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru, Om. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru, Om. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru, Om. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru, Om. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru, Om. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru, Om. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru, Om. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om Guru, Om. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om. Om Guru, Om Guru, Om. Let's pray to her. Divine Mother, Heavenly Father, friend, beloved God, great masters, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahidi Mahashay, Swami Shri Yukteswar Ji, Gurudev Paramhans Yoganand Ji, we humbly bow to you all. Saints of all religions, we bow to you. O Mother, you whose name sounds equally sweet from the lips of the wise and the ignorant, come to us. We call you. We are your children, naughty or good. We are thine. Be thou mine, now and forever. Om. Let's do another chant. This chant is to Ram. Our inspiration, our affirmation for this week is moral vigor. And Ram is that vigor personified. He is the Merudand of Sanatan Dharma. And he is that light that dissolves everything, that is the source of all. Let's sing to him, invoke his presence. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Let's close our eyes, uplift our gaze, spine straight. Let's meditate for a few minutes, inviting the presence of God and Guru. With eyes closed, let's listen to what inspiration Swamiji has to share with us on moral vigor. Moral vigor. Lack of moral vigor saps the will and makes the intellect sponge like, ready to absorb the prevalent opinion of the times. People with good intellects often suffer from the Hamlet complex, the inability to come to any decision or to commit oneself to anything. They justify their indecision by saying, I want to be fair to all sides. But even an imperfect action is better than no action at all. When you believe in something, stand by it. When you believe in someone, stand by him. Such loyal self commitment is a higher law than seeing all sides. Energy is needed to accomplish anything in life. With moral vigor, all things are possible. But without it, the end of every act is failure. Now, to infuse this moral vigor in our consciousness, let's repeat this affirmation after me. First, in a loud voice, drawing the full attention of your mind, body, and soul. The decisions that I make in life come from within myself. From my sense for what is right. I am committed to the truth and to channeling it outward to the world. The decisions that I make in life come from within myself. From my sense for what is right. I am committed to the truth and to channeling it outward to the world. The decisions that I make in life come from within myself. From my sense for what is right. I am committed to the truth and to channeling it outward to the world. Now, in a regular voice, but with the same intensity and vigor. The decisions that I make in life come from within myself. From my sense for what is right. I am committed to the truth and to channeling it outward to the world. Now, in a lower voice, the decisions that I make in life come from within myself. From my sense for what is right. I am committed to the truth and to channeling it outward to the world. Now uplift your gaze and in a whisper, seep your consciousness with these words. The decisions that I make in life come from within myself. From my sense for what is right. I am committed to the truth and to channeling it outward to the world. Now, silently, keeping the gaze uplifted, let's offer these words again to the infinite, silently only. The decisions that I make in life come from within myself, from my sense for what is right. I am committed to the truth and to channeling it outward to the world. Just for a few seconds, let's allow these words to soak into us, seep into our beings. Now, opening our hearts, bringing our attention, our energy there, let's pray to the Mother. Divine Mother, with every action of my will, let me express thy divine vitality, thy truth, thy perfection. Let me live to serve thee alone, or else die in the attempt. Om. It's better if we stand and do the satsang now. Standing up brings more energy and more vigor, moral or otherwise. Thank you. Welcome again. Thank you very much for joining. Those online, thank you for taking the time out. So, when I volunteered to do this satsang, I think not the first thought, but one of the thoughts that went through my mind were of Master, naturally, on that ship to US when he had to give his first satsang, and then his guru came to his aid. So I pray that our guru is at my aid. And as we go into it, we learn something from whatever little we have to share today. The topic is finding balance. It is a very interesting topic because it is very relevant every day, every hour, and for not just the householders, but for everyone. So, what we'll do is first, let's try to understand what is this balance that we are talking about. When we think of balance, what comes to mind? To my mind comes a juggler with multiple balls, trying to keep everything in air, everything smooth, or a person who is walking on a tightrope, somehow managing not to fall and going along perfectly. But when I think about spiritual life, the pursuit of God, there is no balance. It is a path which is solitary. It is a quest which is all composing, all consuming. There is no this or that or this and that. It is just God, God, and God alone. I mean, just look at the lives of our saints throughout the world. You can look at Jesus, you can look at Buddha. Buddha is revered by everyone. He left his home on his search for the truth. If we look at Adi Shankaracharya, at a very early age, I mean, there are stories and legends about him. He was very single minded, focused, so much so that he made his mother somehow agree to his path of renunciation. Look at Saint Francis, loves solitary for divine, for his lady poverty, for God, for Christ. Look at any saints, Sri Ramakrishna Paramhans, or our own Guru, who was very clear what he wanted. He was never not trying to juggle multiple things. And the most obvious example for balance comes to the mind is of our own line of gurus, Sri Lahiri Mahasheji. He was a householder. He lived a balanced life. But if you look at it in a bit more detail, how did he live? He was in Samadhi all through the day, and later years, all through the night, all through the day, every time. He was in company of his disciples. When his wife was angry with him, he would disappear. And then he would appear to her sight near the ceiling. I mean, I don't think he's an average householder. So then what is this balance that we are talking about here? It seems relevant. It feels relevant. I can tell you it is relevant. So when we look at spiritual life, mostly the first impression that we get is what we feel is spiritual life means meditation. Spiritual life means chanting, prayers, jap, hat yoga, everything that takes us to God, all those practices, to be exact. And while that is true, but what it does, it creates a dissonance, because life is not just meditation. Life is not just the time we spend in prayer. Life is much more than that. Life is every hour, every day, every minute of our lives. So then what do we do with the time we are not in meditation? What do we do with the time we are not in prayer, out in our jobs, out in the world, with our family, at our office, commuting? One way which many people I have seen, and I have also done that, and maybe to some extent I still do, is we compartmentalize these two lives, the material and the spiritual. And while if our quest for the search for the truth is deep enough, we focus a lot on this spiritual life. And then we somehow just get by the material, somehow trying to every day finish off whatever we have to do, then come back. Swamiji talks about a disciple, I think in India, of Master who was very successful materially, but he told Swamiji that, my life starts when I enter my meditation room. I have to just get by the world somehow, and then when I'm here, I am with our Guru, with God, I meditate long, and that is blissful and peaceful. But just imagine, then what you're doing is most of your time in 24 hours, you're just miserable, you're trying to escape those hours. And that is not the essence of a spiritual life. Spiritual life is about harmony. Spiritual life is about seeing God in everything. Spiritual life is about, we are having our classes, Patanjali classes, which our acharyas are taking. One of the first sutras which we've learned are yogas chitta vritti nirod. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to neutralize the feelings, the vortices in our heart. But when we compartmentalize our life into spiritual and material, what we do is we keep on churning our dislikes, keep on churning our likes. So sometimes I feel that when you live that way, you are empowering, you are not neutralizing, you are recreating and empowering the vertices, the likes and dislikes, the like for so-called spiritual life and the dislike for the so-called material. And that creates disharmony. And I think we've just agreed that spiritual life progress is harmony with life, with God. And when you say God, it means everything. It means everything around us. Master said that the life which God has given us is to entertain us and to educate us. But when we live in disharmony, we are neither getting entertained nor are we getting educated. We are not learning anything. So then, what do we do about it? Swamiji has said that if we have to sincerely grow in our quest for God, if we have to sincerely grow towards God, then there is a fun episode where he says that, you don't need God. But if you want to grow spiritually, if you want to reach God, then you need a guru. Otherwise, you don't need a guru. But he has also clarified that when you say guru, it does not mean that particular individual, a person who lived 100 years back. Discipleship to a guru is not discipleship to a person. It is, in its final essence, discipleship to life. Opening ourselves up to whatever life is offering and learning from what life is offering us. And that is a very poignant statement. But if it was so easy to do, then we would not need God to send us his image as a guru incarnate to actually hold our hands and tell us, okay, you are not understanding what life is telling you. So, okay, I'm here in front of you telling you what to do. Now let's do this. And my own personal experience, I mean, I can fully vouch for this. I come from a fairly spiritual, religious background. My grandfather, my father, my parents, grandparents, they've all been spiritual, they've all been religious. We've had company of saints with us, grace of saints that we came in contact with. And I think after, it's funny, but I think after our marriage, my spiritual life kind of accelerated. It happens. And because maybe there was a sense of balance, sense of completeness, maybe a sense of freedom, that maybe a desire for companionship is fulfilled. Now you can move towards God, and I I tried to do that as sincerely as I could, as I knew how to do it. Reading scriptures, praying, doing japa, reading about the lives of saints. When you read the lives of saints, it fills you with a fire that you want to be like them. You want to experience what they have experienced. But then I tried meditating. I didn't know what to meditate, how to meditate, and but still I kept trying to do whatever I could. And uh, but gradually a time came where I was feeling that, I had stagnated long back. I was trying hard, I was not going anywhere. And also physically, mentally, I was feeling that it's like I am disintegrating. My body was there were physical problems, health problems. I will not say mental problems, but I was not at peace. My heart was not as peaceful as I would have liked, though I was not so disturbed or anything. But then again, Master decided that it's time for him to show up physically or more materially in my life. And it was my wife, Priya, who said that this is a lecture by certain people called Anand Sang. You should go and attend it. And I went and attended, and I really liked what they were saying. I meditated for 10 minutes and I was like, okay, this is how meditation should be done. So I need to learn more. And then I did all the classes, I learned Hong Sau, and for me it was very experiential. I tested every step of the way. I practiced Hong Sau, and then I saw the results, and then I practiced more and I saw the results. And and then gradually I came to the point where, I felt I was ready for discipleship. And the day I received the discipleship, I feel that there was a physical, tangible energy that I felt uh, entered my heart, and I feel has been there, changing me, working on me. So, having a guru is very important. I learned energization, and I can vouch that all these techniques, these tools, they helped me really get over my problems which I was facing, set me down again on the path. And uh, and I was happily on to more joy, more health, better freedom, more happiness. But what is interesting is that, and which I gradually started realizing, is that master or a guru is not just his teachings. A guru is not just his techniques. A guru is more than that. As Swamiji said, the guru who comes to you is actually life, is actually light itself that has come. Now, the way I see it, the way I would like to put it across is, uh, there is a scripture called Ramcharitmanas, which has been written by Goswami Tulsidas. And I have read it, I really like it. And the second, the very second shloka, it's very poignant. It says, Bhavani Shankaro Vande, which means Bhavani and Shankar. Both of you, I bow down to you. Shraddha Vishwasa Rupidon, who are the embodiment or embodied in Shraddha and Vishwas, which can be loosely translated as reverence and faith. So, Mother and Father of the universe, who are energy and consciousness, you can also see them as reverence and faith. Yabhyam vinana pashyanti siddhah swantah stamishram, which means without this energy, without this consciousness, without the mother, the father, the siddhas, the paramukts, they cannot see the God, the Ishwar residing in them. That is the power and the importance of the guru, because the guru is the embodiment of that energy and consciousness all in one. The guru is our mother also, the guru is the father also. The guru helps us realize what is reverence. The guru helps us realize what it means to have energy, have faith, have to have that consciousness which can take us to God. And the guru is, again, when we say that guru is consciousness, is energy, and the guru is more than the teachings, then of course when guru comes to you, because we are unable to just learn from life, the guru gives us some set of codes. The guru tells us, okay, do this, do this, do this, and it helps. But what the guru does is something much more than that. Uh, the guru gives us, Swamiji has said that, and Swamiji has said that, Master has said, Master means our Guru Paramhans Yogananji. He has said that environment is stronger than willpower, which means that the willpower that we employ in our search for God, or in anything, in any quest for success, money, the environment that we are in has for most people a more potent influence than your own willpower. And that is why that environment is very important. And what the guru does is the guru gives us the magnetism which can take us on that path, which can create that internal environment for us, which helps us move successfully down that path. And this is where attunement comes. And we'll shortly see how attunement is probably the most important thing for balance. When Master was in the US in his headquarters, Mount Washington, in early years, the monks and nuns who used to work with him, they didn't have much time to meditate, to practice those techniques. But what the guru told him is, don't worry, you are open, you are receptive, you're working with me. And that means that you will get the benefit of the magnetism and the spiritual growth which you are seeking just by being near the guru. And so an obvious question is, okay, how do we benefit from this magnetism? We benefit from this magnetism by associating with the guru, by following his teachings, by communing with guru bhais, satsang, coming together, group meditations. And all these things help in creating the right environment for us and taking us forward. I also like to picture the spiritual journey like, as if you're swimming in a river. If your environment is, say, material, the river is flowing in the opposite direction and you're trying to swim against the tide. What the guru does is, what the techniques do is, they give you the power, the skill to actually try to swim against the currents. But then what the magnetism of the guru does, what the environment does is, it actually then turns the tide as well, turns the flow as well. As the environment changes, you find, and the environment is both outer and inner, you find that you are now in, the river is not really so much against you, and you're flowing with the river, and you are moving towards your goal. Now, if we just meditate, then Master has said that if you only meditate, you become dull and your senses become strong. If you only work, then your mind becomes very restless. So, one very important aspect of balance is that we have to balance meditation and activity. Because when you balance meditation and activity, it creates a very potent complex, it creates a very potent mixture where meditation feeds your activity, and the activity, joyfully done activity, feeds your meditation. And many of Master's highly advanced disciples, they were all householders, they were materially very successful, and yet they were the most highly advanced disciples who were most open to him. So if we try to look at what is it that they had which helped them materially and which in turn helped them spiritually also, was concentration. There is a story which we hear Swamiji saying, and which we hear our acharyas telling us, is that uh, I think Warren Buffett and Bill Gates were asked, what is the most important characteristic that you have which has helped you in your success? And both of them individually said, concentration is the most important trait that we had, which has helped us in our life. And this concentration is what are these most advanced disciples of our Guru had. And when this concentration honed by your desire for material success, which, let's accept it, is quite inbuilt into us. It doesn't, for many people, the desire to be materially successful comes naturally. Now, if we apply ourselves and develop that concentration there, that concentration then very easily can help us in our spiritual path, in whatever practices we are following. And apart from the concentration, whatever you're doing, do it with full of energy, full of enthusiasm. Because if you just do something with concentration but there is no energy, anyways, without energy, good concentration also is not possible. But if you're trying to do something very keenly but there is no energy behind it, nothing much can be accomplished. So energy and enthusiasm is very important along with concentration. And because we are disciples, what is again important for us is devotion, discipleship. So I have this C, D, and E of spiritual path, which is concentration, which is devotion, which is enthusiasm. It's been a few years. In my office, in front of me, I have a paper where I have just written C, D, E. I have decorated it beautifully. There is an Om hidden here. Nobody sees. Nobody can spot that Om. And people ask me what it is. Well, it's my mantra. And believe me, this C, D, and E of spiritual path has helped me get over a lot of plateaus that I have eventually been hitting, whether in spiritual life or in work. And I would just invite that if you feel like, try to use it, and maybe you may also find its benefits, its effects. And so Guru has given us techniques, Guru has given us teachings. We have concentration, we have energy, we have enthusiasm. But I think there is something more to it. How do we understand what the Guru is teaching us? Now, right now, Guru is not with us. Even if the Guru was there in person, a Sadguru rarely tells you clearly this is what you have to do and transfers his understanding to you. It doesn't work that way. Even our own master, when Yogananji was with his own disciples, was with Swamiji, he seldom imposed his understanding on anyone. His mode of teaching, as Swamiji says, was to bring out the understanding from his disciples by hints, which is what life is trying to do always. Bring out our own understanding. So, if the Guru, when he was in person, was not telling you clearly, situation to situation, what to do, was trying to develop your understanding, then I think understanding the teachings of the Guru is not just going to happen mentally. The element which is important and which has to be involved is the heart, because you have to understand from your heart what the Guru is trying to teach, and then you have to act on it with certainty. And there is a lot of element of faith and love that goes in. And so this is where attunement comes. Now, why is attunement very important today? One, of course, our Guru, for us, our Guru is not here with us. So to know him, to get his guidance, attunement is very important. The second thing is that unlike the Kali Yuga, where it was a material age, where getting away from the negative, so-called negatives, was very important if you have to focus on the positives. Now, Swamiji and Master tell us that it is the time, it is the age of energy where now it is more important to focus on the positives. Focus on energy, where you're taking it, not from where you want to withdraw it. the direction you're going is very important, and which means it is not about suppression, it is about transmutation of energy. You have to take that energy and you have to redirect it towards your goal. Now that energy may be involved in whatever you are doing um, in your everyday life, and when you work on that energy, you can help it, you can work on it, you can transmute it. Again, if I just refer back to Ramcharitmanas, which I really love, is there is a line which talks exactly what master has taught us, that you take, don't run away from your love for relationships which you have for your friends, for your relationships. You gather all those threads of love, don't sever them, gather them together and offer them to the divine, to the divine's feet, which is, in essence, we use what we already have been given by God, which is our natural love, which flows for our loved ones. We take it and we transmute it to our Guru, our God. And life throws a lot of tests to us. How do we the way to take care of those tests? And see, the life has been our life has been designed by God, who loves us, who cares for us more than anyone or anything. It's a very carefully designed life. So if we choose to live the life that has been given to us by God, and if we choose to tune into our Guru and learn from the lessons that we have, then those lessons, which will otherwise keep patiently coming back to us again and again, those lessons will then be learned, and we can move ahead to the next lesson. Because honestly, until you cross over or you realize, the lessons continue. But if I look at our Guru's life, he was an avatar, still he had tests. So I guess tests are a part of life. I mean, there is no point of running away from the world or the tests. I mean, you have to accept it. And this transmutation of energy, this attunement of Guru, um, which is a heart quality, it happens very well, very naturally, if you are centered within yourself. Now, when we say centered within ourselves, what it means is that there's a very good example which Swamiji gives of a skier, a person who's skiing. And when you're centered, and if you're going down the slope, whatever, howsoever the terrain may move, if you're centered within yourself, you'll be able to navigate very well. You'll be able to decide, take move in whichever direction you have to move. And this centeredness can come by our there are a few techniques which you can use to develop this attunement and centeredness. One is, of course, by focusing on your breath. Even better if you can focus on the currents in the spine, because when you focus on the currents of the spine, it takes you away from duality. It takes you away from the likes and dislikes and the opposite effects of whatever is happening around us. Because, as Master has said, whatever happens around us, circumstances are neutral. It is our reaction which determines the way we perceive them. I mean, if you have a flat tire, if you wanted to take the journey, you will be sad. If you didn't want to take the journey, you'll be very happy that it's a flat tire, good riddance. I don't have to go. So, being centered is very important, and connecting with the Guru is very important. And the techniques that we have to do that specifically is keep God, keep Guru with us all the time. We can do japa, remember his name, always keep his presence with us, because God and Guru, they don't mind our failures, they mind our indifference. Just keep the Guru with yourself, keep referring back to him, all your actions, keep feeling what asking questions to the Guru. How do you think we should do this? And it's a feeling that you get in the heart, and it gradually starts developing. I started doing that some time back, and it is really very powerful. I mean, from a very simple thing like I sometimes go to office by a cab. I come out and I would hunt for a cab here and there. It's very problem. It's a great problem. And then I started asking Guru, where should I find the cab? And then if I turn this side, it feels bad. No, this direction is not right. Turn this side, feels right. And I can tell you, day after day, I get my cab. A very funny incident happened in our home. We had a key for our locker, very important. It got lost. Priya searched and there was panic. And then I said, okay, Guruji, your turn. Where should we find it? You've seen that example in Autobiography of Yogi where Guruji goes around and he searches for that soul in the womb. Not so dramatic, but I was like, okay, where could it be? And my cupboard felt just bad. Her cupboard felt good. All around felt bad. The feeling from her drawer was good. Opened the drawer, there was the key. 3 minutes. Before that, there was an hour of search where Guru was not involved. Guru was involved, it was done in 3 minutes. So hone. It is very important that we start working on this with small things, and then you'll realize that when big troubles come, the Guru is there. I mean, we've had our personal experiences with children. People are ill, you have to rush to the hospital. Delivery is happening. I mean, these are things, these are opportunities, because believe me, the intensity of prayer which you can feel when your child is unwell, that intensity of prayer cannot be duplicated easily. So use those opportunities to connect more with the Guru. We have so many such examples in our lives where we felt the presence of Guru with us very strongly. And it is very important to not just keep it to ourselves, but to spread it out to the family, spend time with family members, connect with them. Their spiritual journey is as important as ours. There was a time when I think I was getting more closed. And then I realized that it is not right for me uh, to prioritize myself, this I, over people who have chosen to spend their life with me, the privilege which I have of my wife who has chosen to spend this life with me, partner this life with me, the children who have chosen to come under, indirectly, but come under my care, for my parents, my brother. And I think I'm attempting to be a more balanced person in these aspects. And when you live life joyfully, when you do everything, your practices, your and everyday life, when you do with enthusiasm, with joy, believe me, you don't even get tired. And your heart starts opening up. When the Guru is there in your heart starts opening up, softening up. I mean, I've had instances in office where people have have uh, have if to save their skin or whatever, I've been put in bad light. I have just not been able to hate them, and I like that. And at the end, what Swamiji has said, that we should live life as children of God, see everyone as a child of God, not just our own families, Guru Bhais, but everyone. Of course, try to do as much satsang as possible, meditate, serve, both are important, but live life like a child of God, joyfully, and just enjoy the journey. It's like we are like seeds. We'll flower and we will become fruits. Thank you, Jai Guru. And we can do an arati.